Hello, my name is Matthias Elsässer. I'm the author of the book Intelligent Data-Driven Marketing, and today I want to talk about how to implement the journey from madman towards mathman based on the Matomics framework. And I think therefore we have to think about what is this universe all about we want to implement. And I think if we want to really implement the full-blown universe, we have to put in the middle our data. So this is the first thing we should think about. How do we get the maximum amount of really customer-centric data points into the middle of our ecosystem? On the one hand side, on a platform, but also on an organizational and process level. And this also shows us a bit what is our implementation approach. So we, as a marketing transformation consultants, do not implement on a single level. So I think if you really want to implement madman to mathman journey, you have to think on 3 levels. The one is the technology level, but there's also the business level, which is your process, your organization, and there's the experience level, which is the outcome, the creativity of your campaign, and also the experience for your employees to use processes and softwares. And we take these layers and put them then somewhere in between our Matomics. So that's like the glue in between. So we have defined some kind of gravity waves which run through our Matomics and brings them together in the molecules, organisms, and universes I've defined in the previous video. So this is what we're doing. So we are putting the data in the middle, and we're taking the Matomics now to build up an ecosystem around this data. And the ecosystem normally starts with planning. We see a lot of transformation starting with the reporting. Our strong recommendation is do not start with the data analytics piece, start with the marketing planning piece, because this gives you some clarity about your ecosystem. So coming back to my initial frame of reference, it gives you the amount of balls, the amount of money you want to spend, the amount of planned sales of cups you have in your books. And this is the starting point of this closed loop pipe system I described in the law of thermodynamics. So that you're going in and start with planning, and then out of planning you know what to do. You can forward this to your house of content, which are then able to create the necessary text pieces, moving images, still images, and all the rest which is necessary to execute your campaign. And then you start with a preparation and an agile execution of your campaign. And this is where you really run across all the different channels in paid, owned, earned. This is again then bringing back the complexity into our initial frame of reference. And once this is done, so you have planned, you have prepared, and you start executing, the next big piece is to really tag, on the one hand side, your impressions, but also the success you have generated, whether this is in your digital ecosystem where it's quite easy, or maybe only in the brand area where you really have to do some kind of listening, digital listening or survey to find out whether your brand value increased or not, or whether this is in the offline world where you then have to think about how are you able to convert offline activities and actions into an online measurement to also get this back into your data cube. And based on this, you build a data entity which is then really holistic, full-blown end-to-end, and you can combine this with the data out of the plan world, with the data out of your budgeting world, and also out of the preparation world, what you originally has put into the buying system. And all of this gives you this comprehensive view, which is then the input towards the data analytics piece. And this gives you some kind of closed loop here, and the Matomics just build the isolated skills which can be used to compile exactly this big picture of madman to mathman implementation. And this is what is described as the last piece of my book. I hope you had some fun on also watching these videos. And if you want to hear more, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.